Sansevieria is also known as snake plants and mother-in-law's tongue. But how do you take care of it? Well, you're in luck. My name's Sam, this is My Leaves, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to make this beauty thrive. Let's start with the sun requirements for this plant. So this plant is extremely versatile in terms of where you can put it around your home and the types of light that it can handle. But it's going to prefer to have bright to medium indirect light. So rather than having the sun directly hit its leaves, it wants to just sort of have that diffused light all day. Having said that though, like I said, it's super versatile. So if it does get a little bit of direct sunlight on its leaves, it's probably not going to really cause it too much harm. And if you end up putting it in a low light situation, it is still going to survive. These plants are so amazing for that. If you've got a really hard little corner and you really want to plant in that corner but nothing else survives, snake plant. I'm not saying that it's going to thrive in low light. You're probably not going to see very much growth in a low light situation, but it is still going to survive. Next, let's talk about water. This is probably the most important thing to get right for this plant because even though Sansevierias are tough as nails and hard to kill, the biggest killer of them is definitely overwatering. So these plants are actually a succulent, meaning they hold water in their leaves, so they don't really need to be watered too often. I would say watering once every 3 weeks is perfectly adequate for a plant like this. If you have a smaller Sansevieria and it's in a really small pot, then you can just basically let it almost dry out and then water it. Even with watering though, this is a super versatile plant and I have heard of people watering every week and it's still surviving and thriving. So it's an incredibly versatile plant, but overwatering is what will kill it. Top tip, make sure that if you have your plants in a cache pot or that you have a saucer at the bottom, that you are emptying any of the water from the cache pot or the saucer, because if your Sansevieria is sitting with its roots in the water, it will get root rot and the plant will start to die back. So make sure to empty those cache pots. But what about the soil? Well, the soil, obviously we want to keep the water flowing away from the roots, so we want it to be extremely free draining and pretty gritty. Mine is mostly made up of a mixture of soil, orchid bark, and perlites. So it's got a lot of air in it and the water flows very quickly and very freely. The great thing about these plants is that they don't need to be repotted very often at all. In fact, you can pretty much wait for your Sansevieria to burst out of its pot before you repot it. They like to be a little bit root bound, so wait on the repotting. Pests on this plant, mealybugs, aphids, potential for spider mites. Luckily, I haven't seen anything like that on mine. Can you propagate this beauty? You sure can. I highly recommend doing it just by dividing your clumps. That'll be your quickest, fastest way. You can also do leaf cuttings and leave them in water. It will just take a long time for the roots to come out, but then you can pop them. But then you can pot them up. Well, if you don't already have one of these, what are you doing? Go get a snake plant. Oh my God, you need one. Go. Snake plants are just great plants. Not only do they look amazing and they instantly add green sculptural element to any room you put them in, but they're also tough as nails, extremely versatile, can go almost anywhere in your home. If you want to start your indoor jungle, get yourself a snake plant. If you just want some greenery in your home, snake plant. If you think you have a black thumb, snake plant. If you want to give a plant gift to somebody and you want to make sure it doesn't die on them, snake plant. Snake plant. Trust me, snake plant. So how do you take care of your snake plants? Well, for the most part, you pretty much just leave it alone. They're so easy. They're so versatile. Top tip, write the day that you water your snake plants on your calendar because the intervals are so long in between that you might forget. That's basically it. Snake plants, amazing, easy care. Go get one if you don't have one yet. I really hope that this guide was helpful for you. My name is Sam, this is My Leaves, and I hope that you're taking care of your plants and yourself.